get real, shall we? CNN asked some questions after Paris that the typical media would like to ask and have somebody answer. So let's see if we can help change the conversation. Let's take their questions. 7 questions being asked about Islam. Their question: does Islam encourage violence? Their answer: scholars say there is rarely a direct link between religious beliefs and violent behavior. Instead, terrorism is generally caused by a complex web of factors. Okay. Other religions really don't have this problem. I mean, I don't see millions of Buddhists blowing themselves up. There are 2.2 billion Christians, and I haven't heard of any Christian terrorist attacks lately. So let's deal with reality. Over 100 million Muslims do want to murder non-Muslims. Something's wrong, and it's destabilizing the world. So forget the hurt feelings. Let's get to the bottom of things now. Next question from CNN. Why have there been so many recent attacks by extremist Muslims? Well, CNN goes on to say there is no single answer. And it goes on to blame things like alienated or impoverished youths, revenge for perceived slights, and, of course, the gun, easy access to lethal weapons. Well, CNN, I just like to point out there's poverty all around the globe, but only one really super large group has a suicidal worldview. I don't really see Native Americans blowing things up, and they've been pretty slighted over the years. Weapons, by the way, are inanimate objects and do not convert people into extremists. Maybe it's just me. Now, this question is important. How do many Muslims feel right now? Well, many Muslims feel dead. Or those that escaped and are not part of the problem feel probably pretty frustrated. But I think, CNN, that's the wrong question. Here are some better questions. For instance, how do the people of Paris feel today? Really? How do the people in New York City feel? How do the people in Iraq and Syria feel? How do the families of the Coptic Christians who were beheaded feel? How about the families of the passengers on the Russian airliner that was just blown up a couple of weeks ago? How do they feel? Or the families of the victims of the bombings in Beirut that happened last week? How do they feel? Or the families of 147 that were killed a couple of weeks ago in Kenya? How do they feel? Or the families of the 67 in the Nairobi Mall, that massacre? How do they feel? I'm wondering. Because I'm pretty sure many Muslims are frustrated. But I wonder if CNN could ask how those people feel. Again, the irony, CNN quotes a Muslim American. Muslims just can't get a break. Every expletive day, there must be an event to suggest Islam is inherently violent. Such acts destroy years of goodwill and work about Islam. Oh my gosh. It does seem like every day there is an event. I mean, assuming you mean terrorist attack, beheading, crucifixion, enslaving, raping of somebody. Yes, if that's how you define event, yes, it does seem like it's every day, doesn't it? Isn't it reasonable, seeing that it is happening almost every day, to conclude that there might be a problem indeed with Islam? Maybe it's just me. Does Islam really ban all images of the Prophet Muhammad? Do they really do that? Again, CNN, wrong question. The question should be, every time there's a cartoon of Muhammad, seems like somebody gets murdered. What the hell are you guys doing to clean up your own house on that one? That's a good question. This one. Does Islam need a reformation? Only 100 million people want to behead or enslave or rape or behead or crucify or just blow them up. I mean, of course it needs a reformation. Yes. The simple question is yes. And it has to start with the truth. And the truth is there's a problem. And it's a big problem. And it is not about poverty. It's not about global warming. It's not about guns. It's not about American foreign policy. It's not about offensive cartoons. It is about Islam. There, I've said it. And I know saying that will be, the people will call me an Islamophobe, a bigot, a racist, all kinds of names. Because I've said it, some may someday call me dead, but that's okay. The truth will set you free. It will make you miserable at first, but eventually it sets you free. And if I have to be the adult in the room that makes sure that everybody gets their medicine, spoonful of sugar, not so much here, so be it. May be painful, but in the long run, we're all better off. Christians, Jews, gays, women, and yes, even Muslims will be better off with the truth.